Google Analytics has dozens and dozens of reports, but as an SEO, what reports should you be looking at? Hey everyone, I'm Patel, and today I'm going to break down the basic reports that you should be looking at as a SEO. Now, before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and if you're on YouTube, click the alert notification. Now, of course, the first thing that everyone knows to look at if you're an SEO is your conversion rate. If you have goal tracking set up in place, great. If you don't, no worries. You can always end up setting it up. But all you do is go on the left side, you click on conversions, you click on overview, and boom, you can end up seeing your conversions for whatever you may be tracking or you may not be tracking. And I recommend just set it up, and you can end up seeing what's converting by channel, what's working, what's not. Here's the example of goal completions. That's the idea of, hey, what's working, what's not, what pages are, and what you need to end up fixing. That's great for SEO. But what most people aren't looking at, and this is where I would start off within your Google Analytics account, is your week over week results. So here's what I mean by that, right? So if I click on real-time overview, you'll end up seeing, all right, how many people are coming to my website right now? If I end up clicking on the home button, you'll see a screen like this, which has a combination of real-time and your traffic, more so week over week. And you want to see how you're doing week over week. And don't just look at it as pure traffic. Look at it from a country-specific traffic or SEO-specific sort of traffic. And here's what I mean by that. So I get traffic from all around the world, just like I'm assuming you do as well. Whether your website's just in English or multiple languages like mine, you can still get traffic from all over the world. For example, in English, there's people who visit my site from the UK or from the US or from India, for example, or even Canada or Australia. Now, my ad agency, Neil Patel Digital, at the moment, we don't have offices in all those countries. So for example, if we get more UK traffic, although I love it and eventually we'll expand there, it doesn't necessarily really help us. So one thing I like doing is looking at how I'm growing or not growing week over week within the specific regions that I'm targeting. So I'm going to compare March 18th to March 11th. As you can see, I'm getting more traffic, 7.12%, so not too bad. But if I scroll down and I click on country under demographics, you can see, all right, United States, great, I'm getting more traffic. This is one of the main areas that I want more traffic from. And I then go back, I change the March 11th date, which I selected to compare to, and then I'll click on the 4th, right? So I'll just go up. And I want to see how I'm trending. 7% more traffic, United States, a little bit more traffic, not much more. And I'll go and do that, and I'll start going, week over week, that specific day. And you'll notice a trend here, down 5.18%, right, in the United States traffic, even though total more traffic down in the United States. 17, up 9%, but down again in the United States, right? And I'm going to keep going back, and you'll notice that over the last 30 days, I'm starting to lose more and more traffic from the United States. Now, at first you may freak out and you're just like, wait, what? Something's going wrong. Because what most marketers do is they just look at the total traffic and they're not looking at the total traffic that they can convert or qualified traffic. So I'm getting more traffic from Brazil. We do work in Brazil, so that's great. But I still generate more income from the United States due to the currency exchange. So I want to focus on the regions that are making me the most, right? Which would be, in this case, United States. I'm not saying that other countries aren't amazing. I'm just saying it happens to be where we tend to just generate more revenue from the United States. If you have access to multiple Google Analytics properties, which I do, and if you don't, you should talk with other members within your community. This is one of the big things that people should do, is they can go look at other sites or talk to other people and see how they're doing week over week. So here is me comparing my site March 18th versus February 10th. I'm going to do the same thing for Crazy Egg, in which I click the compare button right in the date range. So 18th to February 11th. And let's see, if I click the 18th to February 11th, you want to make sure it's the same day week over week. So if it's a Thursday, you need to compare it to a Thursday. And if you look at that, United States down 12%, down for me 6% on both sites. And when I do this for crazy, I'm going to compare, even like the 25th to the 18th. 25th is a Thursday, just making sure. Down 12%, UK 11%. This has been happening for a lot of the sites in the marketing niche. And I know a few other players in the marketing niche. Some are not direct competitors. Some are just software solutions or, in other verticals of marketing or just blogs that just give free information. But by asking people this and comparing, that's one of the first things that you should do to see how you're growing week over week, because it's deceptive. If you look here at neilpatel.com, you see a total number of users increasing, which is great. But if I'm losing traffic in the main region that I care about, most marketers report, hey, we're up 12%. Well, you're kind of down in the main region that makes you money, so that's kind of all that matters. The next thing I want you to look at is your overall search traffic. And I want you to do it in two ways. So the first is I want you to just go to acquisition, campaigns, organic keywords, and you can see how your search traffic is doing again on a regular basis. And the higher it goes, the more up it goes, the better off you are. That's a good trend to look at. And I recommend looking at this over time and extending it out. So let's say look at it for the last 6+ months. I recommend you look last year or so. And you just want to make sure overall you're increasing, which seems pretty healthy in a positive direction. But as you scroll down, and I want to do this on purpose, and I added a lot of dates or a long date range, because you can see there's a lot of junk traffic. This really isn't search traffic. So another thing that I recommend that people do is go to their search console. And I'm loading it up here. It may take a little bit just because I have a lot of data. And see how you're performing within Search Console. So let's say I do last 12 months, because as I mentioned, I recommend that you check out the last year. And you can see this, similar to what I ended up showing in analytics. It's increasing, which is good. Search Console tends to remove all that junk bot traffic. But I also recommend you filter by the country. So you click on New, click on Country, and you click on United States or any country that you're targeting. Typically that list that's ordered, the ones at the top is where you get the majority of your search traffic. As you go down on the list, you'll get less and less. As you can see here, my United States traffic, for the last year or so, it climbed up, but this was during, when COVID was really booming or first coming around. So it was during that down period. If I extend it a little bit more out, you can see how during that COVID period, I started losing a little bit of traffic. And I'm just extending it a little bit so you can end up seeing. But yeah, so it's a little bit better than COVID. Then once everyone started working from home, traffic boomed. Then it started flattening out, started going up, and then started flattening out again. I do think some of the reasons why my decline right now is industry related, and some of it is not really seasonality, but quote unquote external factors that I can't control, like a lot of people staying at home due to coronavirus. So those are some of the reports that I would first look at. Another report that I like looking at is real time. And if you have enough real-time traffic, you can click on real-time, then content. You can see where majority of the people are spending their time. Another report that I like looking at is, as a SEO, is your overall traffic, if it's coming from desktop or mobile. Because if you're monetizing your traffic and you have elements for conversion optimization, you have to check to just make sure that you're doing it for all the mobile stuff as well. Because on my mobile site, I had conversion optimization elements, but then when I was looking at my real time, I realized that most people are actually looking at my AMP pages. Look at this, /AMP, /AMP, /AMP. And I didn't actually monetize my AMP pages because here's what they look like. I'm going to pull up this is my desktop device, but I can show you what an AMP page looks like by just putting /AMP at the end of my URLs. So here's an example of one of my blog posts. And here's what it looked on desktop. With AMP though, which is where a lot of people were coming to, it was just basic and there was no monetization. It was just the content. So I wasn't actually making much money from my mobile traffic, even if it was coming from the United States. And from that, I learned that, hey, I should put some top bar to monetize. So I put that call to action that slides with you, and I put a bottom one. And this says click to get more traffic. And if someone clicks, it just takes them to my consulting page. But I did that and I started generating more conversions from mobile, specifically my mobile SEO traffic. But those are some of the places I would start off with within your Google Analytics. Conversions, everyone should already have set up. If you don't have that set up, I recommend that you set it up. And then the rest you can check out and start looking at some of those reports. The big one to really check out as a marketer and SEO is the week over week, and specifically how you're doing week over week during that same day, and how you're doing. So you would compare, let's say, Thursday to Thursday, and you look at it based on regional based traffic, which is where you're making your money from. If you need help with your analytics, check out my ad agency, Neil Patel Digital. If you enjoyed this video, like it, share it, tell the people about it. And sorry for the background noise. I have a baby, and during COVID, I don't want to tell my baby to be quiet because I would feel that's a little bit rude on my end, and I love my child. So thank you very much. And again, if you have any questions, leave a comment. If you enjoy the video, like it, share it. Thank you for watching.